so warm in here. I'm sweating. Okay. This semester has gone by way too quickly, and I can't defy the laws of physics yet and slow it down, so it's already the end of October and time to have a Halloween costume. I did not, so here is a very quick tutorial of how to make a Daphne costume out of some scrap green fabric, an extra large men's t-shirt, and I think a sheet. Not really sure what this other purple was. It's just from Goodwill as mixed linens. I don't know, but here it is. So first you'll need to gather your supplies. I had a mixed linens from Goodwill that was $1.99, a piece of green scrap felt from Walmart that was 98 cents, and a double XL men's t-shirt for $5.99. So the first thing you have to do is try on the shirt, make sure it's long enough because you know you're going to cut it up quite a bit, so make sure you have room to spare. Then you'll lay it out, and I went and grabbed a dress that I already knew fit me really well and would have the dimensions that I like, especially that A-line that I like to have in my skirts. So now you'll get a pen or chalk and mark where the sides should be, and then mark where the skirt should end. This should help you keep track of everything once you're cutting. So here I realized that I don't own a ruler. I needed to make a straight line, so I just used a clipboard. I'm sure that's fine. And then I got a measuring tape and used that to mark from the shortest point. Because it's a circle, it'll look strange if it's cut straight across. So once we made that line in the middle, we can work off of that and just cut, I think I did 23 centimeters from the waistband in every spot, and that'll make that bell curve that you need. And then when that's done, you have these nice sides, and you're going to pin starting at those sides. So here I've pinned the sides, and now I'm working my way up to the torso. This was done very poorly, and don't do it like I did because it was not measured, and the middle of that collar is not the middle of the dress, but it's the back, so it does not matter. So now you have basically the shape that you want, and once it's all pinned out, you can start to cut. So I recommend having at least an inch of seam allowance, though I know some people only do half an inch. I am just bad at things and want to make sure that there's enough room for error in case I really mess up. So just cut out all of that on one side, and then what I find is really helpful is once you have one side cut out, lay it over flat and then just cut along the same line. Even though you may have measured the first time, it may not be even, and this way you know that it's symmetrical. And then you can pin that in place to make it really good, but I didn't. Oh, something that you might want to notice is that I cut along that curve for the sleeve. Normally, Daphne's dress has long sleeves, but that was a lot of effort, and I didn't want to. So here I'm just pinning them all. I put it on backwards, inside out, and I'm pinned everything in place, and then you realize that the back of the skirt is too short, and we're not trying to be scandalous this Halloween. That's a different costume. So now, once you've sewn it all together, based on those pins you just did, it should look about like this. Now let's look at the shoes. So for the shoes, I just used regular white shoes from Goodwill. I think they were $10. And then I cut out the designs that you see on Daphne's shoes with just construction paper. And then we're gonna paint the whole thing over. The construction paper does not have to match the shoes because you're gonna paint it. So don't worry about that. I did choose a purple, but it really doesn't matter. And then we just paint the whole thing. And I did 2 coats of paint just because I thought it would look better. It really didn't have a huge effect overall. Up to you on how you wanna go about that. And then leave them overnight to dry if you have the time. If not, give it at least 3 hours. So now we're measuring out those stripes. This is how we're going to extend the back so that it's not quite so short. So we're gonna have a stripe in the middle and then a stripe at the very bottom. So we're going to use the measurement that we just took from the base of the dress, and you're just going to double that measurement. And that should give you the full circumference of the dress. And then go up about 2 inches, maybe 2.5. 2.5 seems better. And you'll mark it, and then you'll cut it out for 2 sheets. I actually did my second shorter sheet incorrectly, so that top stripe wasn't going to work out and I had to redo it, but it's fine. That just meant that I was lazy and didn't feel like doing a stripe all the way around, and the butt was already covered, so instead I just did half a stripe, and that was fine. It really didn't make much of a difference in the overall costuming. So for the scarf, I just used 1/4 yard, folded it in half, sewed it all up, turned it inside out, and that was it. It really wasn't an in-depth process. And then you're done. Now you can do the makeup that she has. It's pretty much just a really sharp cat eye, and I added purple eyeshadow. She doesn't have it, but that's okay. And you're good to go. You're ready to hit the town, or the trick-or-treating route, whatever you're gonna do. Thanks for watching.